So, how are you doing, guys? I hope you are well and fantastic. I hope you are well. And as you know, today's topic is self-study versus schools, which is better. So, in this session, we will discuss regarding this topic. So, before starting the session, let me know. I think developer is new here, Mr. Kasim Developer. I think you are new here, right, brother? Can you introduce yourself before starting the session? Yeah, Kasim, am I audible to you? Mr. Kasim.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, am I audible to you? Can you introduce yourself? Can you introduce yourself,
So
bro?
there is a problem in.
Today's topic is a school versus self-study. So, can you introduce yourself? Kids. Okay, yeah. So let's start the session. Please hold on, guys. My voice is echoing. Yeah, now it's okay. Yeah. So first, let me know. Yeah, Rohit sir, what are you favoring, a school or self-study? Okay, yeah. Yeah. Hi, Alok. May I know what are you favoring? Yeah.
Hi Akash, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, brother. Yeah, may I know what are you
Yeah, I'm from. Yeah.
Yeah, what are you favoring? I hope you are aware of today's topic. As you know, today's topic is school versus self-study.
Yeah, I'm preferring a self-study.
Self-study. That's great. Okay, and what about server brothers? What are you going to favor?
Uh, Same brother, I am so favoring self-study.
Okay, and Sajib, what about you brothers?
Actually, I'm favoring self-study, but here to both
Hmm,
are choose self-study, so I'm moving now school.
a school, that's great. Yeah, and Vikas, what about you?
Actually, brother, good evening, everyone. I am favoring a school.
You are favoring a school. Okay, that's great. Okay, so today I want Mr. Sajiv. You should start the session. So, brother, as you are favoring a school, so brother, do you have any more point why? Do you have any specific point why you are favoring school?
Yes, I will lot of specific point to starting school. First of all, starting in school, we can easily meet some person who's we don't know before, and the structural learning. They are always give us syllabus, and we need to maintain this syllabus. If we are maintain syllabus, we can easily pass the exam, and we can easily learn the new things and new ideas. Another thing is expert guidance. Like our teacher is really expert, and they always guide us for one kind of mentors, and their teaching quality is pretty much good than any other instruction, and we can easily solve our problems. And sometimes when we are talk about if I talk about self study, sometimes when we are following some problem and we need to go YouTube, but we cannot find out the exit videos. But in these times when we are go to school, we can easily find out our solution throughout our teachers. Another thing is social interactions. Like we have a lot of opportunity for collaboration, teamwork, and developing society skill. If we are go school, it's really good for those areas. Another thing is resource and facilities. we can easily access the library and laboratories and other educational resources. It's really beneficial for everyone to gain a lot of knowledge. And the fifth thing is extracurriculum activities. Extracurricular activities is really important for everyone to boost their inner knowledge. And sometimes some people they feel very scared about some activities, extra activities. If they are go to school, if they are show the person like who are enrolled in the extracurriculum activities, they feel very good to enroll this type of activities. And sixth thing is immediate feedback, regular assumptions and feedback to monitor progress. Sometimes some teaching some program we can understand easily. If we are go to school, we can easily solve it. Before I already mentioned it one times. So yeah, that's all in the 6 point. If we are look at that, so I think school is really good rather than self-study.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Because when we go to school, so there we met with a different people with a mindset, right? Different mindset, and that's how we can also feel the competition, right? And we also find that kind of environment where we can get more study, our mind involved into that study, right? So that's great. The school is the best place for uh, for creating the great environment for the study, for the education. So I'm agree with you. Yeah, so Alok brother, as you are favoring self study, so may I know why?
Yeah, of course. First of all, good evening to all. And I think this is very amazing topic and fantastic topic. Actually, school versus self study. If we see literally, so both are. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah. So actually, if we see, so both are very, you know, both are very important to everyone because without school, I think we are nothing, and without self study, we are also nothing. Because if I actually why I am favoring like a self study, because now I am nearby 19-20 years old. So for me, actually, it's depend on person. But for me, it is self study more because now I'm 20 years old. Actually, I cannot learn everything from school. So for me, I mean, it is good to like to favor self study because now I whatever I have to learn, so I can't go to college every day and I can't learn from school. So for me now self study is comfortable. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that's great. We cannot when we go to school, so we don't have to study according to ourselves, according to our interest. We have to study according to the teacher. The way they teach, we have to study according to them, right? But if you talk about the self-study, so in self-study, we have to study according to our interest. And when we study according to our interest, so we study more, we get more. So yeah, that's great, brother. Yeah. So because as you're favoring a school, so what the reason behind this?
Okay, good evening, everyone. First thing, I find like learning. This is my first point. Like a school provide, like a school provide like a students education in various subjects, like helping a student gain knowledge and a skill. Many thing in a school then I would say they get. And second thing, find uh, like like about discipline. Second thing I will find, every like a teacher tell them to how to discipline, how to talk each other, how to respect elders, and like
Okay, I got
like
it.
to thing I find right now.
Yeah, that's great. When we go to school, so we have to follow more discipline, and we became more disciplined also, right? we feel we become more disciplined. But if we study on our own, so at the time we are not more disciplined. Whenever we want to study, we study. Whenever want to scroll the phone, we started scrolling the phone. So we can say when we do self-study, so we are less disciplined than the school, right? When we go to school, so we have followed a lot of disciplines. We are disciplined, right? We become disciplined, we can say. So that's a great point. Yeah. So sir, whether is your favorite self-study? So brothers, why? How do you find it is the better than school life? Server, am I dual to you?
Yeah, brother. Yeah, what you were doing.
Yeah. So do you
So,
have any?
brother, why I'm favoring like self-study? In Yeah, brother. Continue, please.
So please continue. I'm asked why are you favoring self-study? Do you have any more point? Okay, it's okay. Yeah, so Sajid brother, is your
I
favorite?
think, brother,
Sorry, my voice
your
is not.
voice is like your voice is not coming properly, brother. Your voice is cutting.
Yeah,
No, bro, Akash brother voice is really coming properly. I think you network problem.
okay.
Yeah, brother. Because like here raining here is
Yeah, it's happened sometime, brother. It's happened.
high
It's
rain.
rainy season. Yeah. So do you
So,
have any
brother,
more
you
point?
asked me something, brother?
No, I asked that is you are favoring self-study. So what do you find in it, brother? That you inspire self-study rather than a school life.
So, brother, in my opinion, I think by self-study you can achieve whatever you want in life. And in school, like you see, school focus on more theoretically. School focus, school focus like putting unnecessary information in student mind rather than focusing on theoretical thing. So that's why I'm choosing like self-study.
Yeah, that's great. Whenever we go to school, so you have to study according to book. Like we can get a bookish knowledge, and when we go to school, so most of the students we can say 95% of the students they just prepare for the exam only, right? Not for the knowledge. According to the exam, for getting the good marks, they're going to school and preparing for that, right? They're just searching which question is good, which question is important for the exam, which question will come or not, right? They're not thinking about their life that they're getting learning or not. They're thinking about the exam only, right? So yeah, that's happened. Yeah, so Sajid brother is server brother said that when we go to school, so most of time we get the bookish knowledge, not the practical knowledge. And also it is said when whatever we study in a school na, in our life only we use 5%. 95% we just forget all the things. So what do you think about it, brother?
I think Salwar brother, sometimes I agree with his point, but sometimes not, because if we are see that about the university and also school as well, they are always provide practical classes as well as theoretical classes. Why I like school? First of all, I come in the self study. Like this is a 2024, and if you look at the world, most of the teenager and also some adults they like to play video games in the PC and also mobile phone. Do you really think if they have a chance, like if they are focused only self study, they are focused only their study rather than playing video games? I don't think that, because everyone they like to play video games as their free time, spare time. But if they go school, they learn something new. They meet their friend regularly. But if they stay their house, they didn't need to go school, and they don't meet to some stranger and also their friend. They lead their life as an introvert. Do you really think this life is a good for upcoming generation? I think it is not, as because if they are playing video games multiple times, they don't have a much time to focus their study. If they go to school, they have a lot of they have a flexible time, like they need to maintain a routine. If they maintain their routine daily, their mind is fresh and they will become a success easily. That's reasons I choose school.
Yeah, that's a great point. Actually, whenever we study in alone, so sometimes we keep scrolling the phone. Sometimes, we don't give our 100%, you can say, because we don't find that kind of environment. So I may agree with you, brother. And also, it is not good because we are the social animal. Human is a social animal, it is called, and we cannot live alone. We need, we want to live, we love to live alone in a group, right? Not alone. Yeah, when we live alone, so sometimes we feel irritate, and sometimes like not good we feel, right? So that's why we are the social animal and we cannot live alone. So you're right. Yeah, so Rohit says hi, I hope. Okay, I think he's favoring network issue. Yeah, so Alok brother, as you are favoring self-study, so brother, don't you think that in self-study what happen, like sometime we're not able to give our 100%, sometime more time we're not able to give 100%, because we don't get that kind of environment. But in a school, we find that environment, don't you think, brother? We also find the competition. We create the competition between the children, that he's studying, he's learning, I should also learn. But when we study alone, so there is no any competitor, and that's why we don't we don't like learn fastly. Don't you think that? And we don't focus more. Sometimes we just keep scrolling phone and blah blah things like that.
Yeah, yeah, I've got it. Actually, Akash, as you said, actually, I understand, but actually, if you see really, so actually, if there's a guy who is thinking to self-study, and as you said that he will be alone, and he will not feel pressure. So actually, I don't think so, because now everything is online. If he's preparing for anything, whether he is studying in school or self study. Actually, obviously, people after preparing, after completing their school, they prepare for some exam, for anything. So I think they see competition. Like if they are studying in school, so obviously in school they feel that I have to go forward to others, so that I can get more marks. But in self study, what happens? Say if we see, so actually, if I'm studying alone, but still we have pressure, because we are when we are studying alone, but we are studying for any like any exam, any government job. So in that field there is also pressure. It's not like that you are studying alone, so there's no pressure and like that. But no, it's not like that. If you are studying alone or like self-study, so there's also pressure. You can't decline it. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Yeah.
So like that, actually, I think on both place, there are there are both have both have their own quality. It depends on person. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I got it, yeah, brother. When we go to when we do self study, so what happen in self study? We have to we study according to ourselves, and when we study according to ourselves, so we know what are the thing that we are weak in, right? What is the subject that we are weak in, and what the subject we should more focus on. So we know that thing, and we focus according to ourselves, right? But in a school, we focus teachers, and we have to study according to them, and that's why uh, you know we're not able to sometimes we what the subject they teach we don't take interest in, right? So self study, yeah, that's great. Yeah, so
Sorry, Akash, just a minute. I mean overall, yeah, in both sides there's a pressure. You can't say like that in self-study, student has no pressure, so it's not like that. We have also some pressure, because now as you are also a student, so you can feel that if you study like alone, so you can feel that there's also competition in self-study too, as the comparison of school.
yeah, brother, you're right. We cannot say that if the person who are studying self-study, who are doing self-study, so he has no pressure or they have no pressure. They have also pressure. Yeah, I'm agree with you. Yeah, so Rohit sir, I hope you are well. And sir, I hope you are aware of today's topic. So sir, may I know what are you favoring? Sir, Rohit sir, are you here? Am I audible to you? Okay, so because okay, it's okay, sir. Yeah, so because as you are favoring a school, so don't you think, brother, like in a school, we study according to the exam, right? According to the exam for getting good marks. But other hand, if we study self-study, if we do self-study, so we study according to our knowledge, right? Don't you think that? According to our interest, according to our knowledge, and whatever we do according to our interest, we do our best in that field. Don't you think that? So don't you think that self-study is better than a school life, a school study?
No, I have already said like only like you are saying that only for exam. That's right, but nowadays competition is going on too much. So that's why this thing is growing too much. Exam. I want to first. He will first. Only competition. But in self study it is not. But it is a this biggest disadvantage. And second, I want to say about a school. In a school, everything. Like suppose that you are self study mean like which kind of your interested subject you will read, right? Suppose that your interest subject is science or math, but in a school whatever they will teach you all things, and you will also get bored, but you will learn like you are not able to learn you are not able to learn at self study, but in a school you will able to that you are finding difficulties. Yes, brother.
Okay, I go to it. Actually, because want to say that, yeah, look, brothers.
Uh, no, yeah, you go first, then I will speak.
Yeah, actually, because want to say that what happen in self-study, we in self-study we study only on that subject that we are interested in, and the subject that we get bored, just we forget that subject. We don't study that subject, right? We study very rarely. But in a school, we have to study every subject equally, right? Whether it is your interested subject or not interested, whether it is boring you or not, but you have to study equally. So that's the thing because want to say. Yeah.
Actually, as Vikas said, actually, I agree with, her, but, actually, there's, one question. I'm audible, Akash? I'm audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, actually, as Vikas has said, like in school, what happens, whether you are feeling to study or not, but like, he has given example of science subject. So actually, if teacher will teach, so in school, what happens, whether you are feeling or not, but you have to study. But as she said that in self-study, if you are not feeling to study, so you can leave believe that thing. So yeah, actually it is, I'm agree. But actually if there's a guy who is really preparing for anything, like like there's a guy who is preparing honestly for that thing, and he is self studying. So I think he will not do such thing according to me.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Yeah, brother, I'm agree with you. Yeah, so Sarah brother, what do you think? Like, don't you think that in a school life, as Vikas said, like we have to study equally, whether it is your interested subject or not. But in self-study, you focus more on only interested subject, favorite subject. But the subject that make you bored, just forget that, just avoid. You will avoid. Not you, we all avoid. Every person avoid if they do self-study. Don't you think that we study very rarely on that subject that we are interested we are not interested in. Yeah, so what do you think?
I think, brother, like Vikas is right. If we study what I like, then I think I can do big thing on that subject rather than like focusing on what I don't want to study. So I think that's right, brother. That's I prefer like study.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so Muhammad Fahim, I think you are aware of today's topic. So may I know what are you favoring?
Um, I have both mind on this topic because anyone don't any topic anything like school or self study cannot exceed each other because both are important in individual life. When any student don't get any guide from school or institution, they don't they will be lost the track and they can't proper self study. If I talk about the only self study, without school it will be a pointless. Or if I talk about in only say school, without self-study, school will be valueless for everybody because self-study and school both are very crucial part of our life. We should maintain both both for our enhancement in our life. So I will say that the both side is important.
Yeah, brother, I agree with you. Both is important, but here we are doing group discussion. So here you have to favoring anyone because we know both are important. And also in our, if we talk about in real life, so we do both. If the person who is going to school, so we cannot say he is not doing self-study. He is also doing self-study, right? Or the person who is doing self-study, so we cannot say that he is not going to school, not going coaching. He is also going. But here we know that, but yeah, because you have to fear only one side brother here. So you have to fear only one so that this session will be interesting.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so what are you going to favor? Self-study or a school life? A school study?
I'd like to say self-study because I really like to study by myself rather than school. School I get some direction from school, but I maintain myself in self-study very favorite time. I use my favorite most of time in self study rather than school. But self study can make a crucial part of my life rather than school.
Yeah, I got it. That's great. Yeah, and I request to all of you, if it is possible, to please turn on your camera so that it will be more interesting, and also you will feel more confident. So if it is possible, then you can turn on your camera. I'm saying to all of you. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's great. Yeah, it is called the courage. Okay, it's okay, brother. Yeah. So Saji, brother, Fahim, brother, you can mute yourself. Because you echoing. Fahim, you can mute yourself.
Could you? I didn't get you, bro.
I'm saying you can mute yourself because it is echoing. My voice is echoing. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thank you for muting yourself. Yeah, so Saji, brother, as you are favoring a school life, so brother, don't you think that when we go to school, so we waste a lot of time because when we go to school, so at least we have to give 5 hours or 6 hours for a study. So don't you think that it is the best to do time? But if you talk about the self-study, so we can study the same thing in a 2 hour or 1 hour or 2 hour, right? Maximum 3 hours. But in the school, we have to spend 6 hours. That is the maximum time. Don't you think that it is the wasted of time? And most of time we spend in playing, and also when we go to school, come to home from the school. So it take at least 30 minutes, right? So 1 hour goes waste just coming and going, in coming and going. So don't you think that it is the wastage of time?
Bro, you just thinking that we just spend 1 or 2 hours to going and out. But if we will talk about the teenage and kid, they play video games. Do you really think it's very good? I don't think it's really good. First of all, if we are going to school, we play some sports. Sports is really important to improve our cognitive knowledge and inner knowledge as well. But if I talk about self-study, those who are stay in the home and they just focus their self-study. Yeah, first of all, what we need to understand what is the self-study. Self-study means we study our alone and we just study what we want. But if we are go to school, we need to stay a boundary. Like our teacher give us syllabus, we need to follow the syllabus, maintain the routine. This really helps to improve our life and also improve our productivity. Productivity is really important for everyone. Without productivity, anyone cannot express themselves easily. Like those who stay in home and also they focus on self-study, I think they are having some issue to talking with strangers because they are one kind of introvert person. Introvert person always skip stranger, society, everyone. They just follow their own mind. Do really think it's really helps them to improve their productivity? I don't think that. And the another point is self-study. If you are stay in home and if you are learning what you earned, but if you are didn't go any school, first of all, you cannot get certificate. Without certificate, anyone, no one give you a job. Without job, how can you lead your life? Yeah, now everybody I think thinking that like if we are staying if we are focused self study, we can easily getting a certificate to waste our money to give in some money in the like a boat. I don't think that if you are giving some money in the boat, you can easily achieve your like knowledge and everything. Sometimes when you are focused that self study and also school, first thing is school always try to give you some knowledge which is reality and sometimes yeah I believe that sometimes school provides some bad things and sometimes if we are go to school if we are waste our times around 2 or 3 hours, but without hard work we cannot get success. If you stay in the home and if you stay in the home and try to learning something new skill without any hard work you cannot learning easily. If you go to school waste your time 2 or 3, you can easily learn something new skill. If you see the scenery of the village of the society and also urban set areas everything, if you show these type of things you can easily achieve everything. You can easily understand what is the condition of our country. If you stay in the room, if you just focus the what you want to learn, but I feel that most of the teenagers and adults they like to play video games rather than learning something new skill. For myself, if I stay in the home, I also play video games. So how can I improve my productivity if I play video games? Yeah, somebody I think thinking that video games is a good because someone who or she show that some people they attend sports and they get a lot of money. They can easily improve their productivity staying in the home. I don't think that this is life. This is a 2024. So most of the teenagers they focus only video games to play video games and also waste their time to watching some 80 plus content or also some other movies and videos. This is a waste of time. If you go to school, you meet some person, you meet stranger, you can easily boost your confidence. So that's the reasons why I chose school rather than self-study.
Yeah, that's great. I agree with you. Yeah, so Alok, don't you think that as you are favoring self-study, so brother, in self-study, don't you think that yeah, do you want to say something?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good.
Sorry,
Yeah, actually, Akash, as you Uh-huh. See?
No, I'm saying that as you are favoring self-study. So, brother, don't you think that in self-study we more focus on the our mentally, not physically? But if you talk about the school life, so in the school life we are focused in both mentally as well as physically also. And also when we go to school, so when we go to on foot, so also with the study, we can do exercise also, and also in the school we do a lot of activities, extra curriculum also, that is very benefit for us. And also as Sajid brother said that the person who is doing self study is introvert, he don't want to talk with a stranger, right? But in a school life, the person who is studying in a school life, he has a habit of talking with a stranger, and that's how he get success very easily. Don't you think that, brother?
Yeah, actually, no, Akash, as the brother has said, actually, I'm agree with him. But actually, I have some points like on my which I'm having like self study. Why self study is important? And actually, overall, if we see in, I mean, in present situation, so like self study is going like further more and more, because if we see we can see there's so many library, so many in our city, in our town, there's so many library is being opened, and more students are taking education from there, and they are going to do self study. And actually school and self study, both have their own quality. But according to me, self, I mean school is important till our teenage, 18 years old. But after that, I think self study is self study has more quality than school, because after 18 years, 18 years, 19 years old, we know we enter in that phase where we have to do everything by ourselves, because after that we can't go school and we can't do everything. So after that, whatever we have to do by ourselves. So then you will have to study to do anything. So according to me, no, school is for like children, but self study is for for 18 plus.
Okay, yeah, that's great. The school is for the children, and also the person who is more, conscious, who is more, like he can understand about themselves. So self-study is better for them. So yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, so because as you are favoring a school life, so don't you think that when we go to school, so it is a more expensive than self-study. When we do self-study, so we just spend our money on the books, right? Or copy, pen, pencils. But if when we go to school, so we have to pay, monthly fees. We have to wear uniform, shoes, tie, and all that things. We need to spend money. So don't you think that it is a more expensive? And most of children, they cannot go to school, but they do self study, so they can study better. Don't you think that self study is good for those person who can't go to the school?
Yes, that's great. I also feel good. Uh, like if I talk about a school, like in a school, like everyone can't afford, because of that government has it is also government school, so they can go also there. Not only in private school I'm talking about, but in government school it is also teachers are teaching, but not well than private. But I would say, like, if they can't afford, then they should choose government school, because in any school we find many things, another culture, another kind of culture. If I talk, another feelings, another friends, another meetings, many things we find. That is the most challenges in our life, so that we can grow our thinking also. Wow, how, like, from childhood, our thinking power increase, like how world is going on, how world work, like how people are doing. Everything we know, we it start from a school, not anywhere. Yes, brother.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Yeah. So yeah, Mr. Fahim, brother, as you are covering self-study. So don't you think, brother, the person who is doing self-study, so most of person they are live to love to live love to love to live alone, and they shy to talk with a stranger. But in our life, it is a great, it is our art. Like it is important. It is very necessary to talk with a stranger, communicate with a stranger, and although it is shown the person who live alone na, so their communication skill is not good, like they hesitate, they are more hesitant, right? Because they have not a habit of talking with other, that's why. So don't you think, brother, communication is a very important skill, very important full skill in the world if you want to get success? But if you do self study, so what do you know, like if you don't know how to speak like confidently, so what do you of having knowledge? If you have knowledge, so if you can talk properly, then you can share your knowledge, right? So communication skills should be also there. So don't you think, brother, the person who go to school, he has a good communication skill? Because in a school they are practice, and they are performed in a very activities, they are made trained to become the speaker, like a speaker. Don't you think, brother? Yeah, Fahim, Muhammad Fahim, are you here?
Yeah, bro, I'm here. So what do you say? I didn't get you.
No, I'm saying that the person who doing self study, he's, don't you think that he's not as good as the school going boys, as a school going student? Their communication is not as good as a school going student. They are more hesitant, the person who do self study. Don't you think that? And communication skill is a very
Yes.
important full skill in the world. If you want to get success, communication is a skill we should learn must. It is very compulsory for us. Don't you think that?
Yes, bro. Communication skill is very compulsory for everyone. So when we need to step up in our job or in our future life to study any abroad or study anywhere to go, we need to earn the communication skill. Without communication skill, we don't feel success. Or don't get success. What you said. So in about school, can we learn communication skill? I'm interested. So I on keen on self study where it's very convenient for myself rather than school, but I can learn communication school by travel any travel new place, talk with new culture people, or study in a library. That is not a need school, but school is very crucial part of our life, and we can't say no about the importance of school. But I think, in my point of view, I recommend that self-study is more better for myself rather than school.
Okay, I'm agree with you. Self-study is good rather than the self school. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So, Sajid, brother, is your favoring self-study. So, brother, don't you think that most of the time what happen when we do self-study? So, lot of our family member, when we do self-study, that means we are studying at our home, right? And when we study at our
Bro,
home,
I am favoring his school.
okay, sorry. Okay, it's okay. Yeah, so brother, as you are favoring a school, so don't you think that in a school, like most of person what to do, most of children what to do, like when we go to school, when we go to school from the home, saying their parents I'm going to school, but most of people what to do, they just went to the park and lot of attractive places instead of going to school. So don't you think that they are cheating their parents also? And also,
No,
yeah.
okay, bro, continue, please.
Don't you think that they are cheating also parents? And also what even most of time it is seen when they go to school. So most of us students, they just started making relationship with the girls. So don't you think that this kind of thing is not good? It is
Yeah, I
disrespectful.
think this. Yeah, I think this type of things is not good, and some teenage and also some young, they always cheat their parents to to like you are right, absolutely you are right, but somehow if you look at that, most of the students, they didn't cheat. Those person who cheat their parents, they never success in their life. For instance, I show some people who always cheat their parents. Nowadays, he working in the field, he going to the outside of the country and working in the field and working construction areas. It's a really disturbing. You really think about that? Those person who cheat their parents, they will become a successful. I don't think that they will become a successful. Even somehow I should show that those person who study themselves, they easily enhance their knowledge for some areas. I believe that, as because they didn't follow any routine, they didn't follow any border. They one kind of they are one kind of under in the box, like those person who go to the school, they one kind of under in the box. Bro, someone knocked me in the door, so give me 1 minute, okay?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, so Muhammad Fahim, brother, you are favoring self-study. So brother, don't you think that in self-study what happen? When we do self-study, so most of our family member disturb us. Like they say that you are studying, just stop for a while and just do that thing. Like they keep saying and they keep disturbing in our study. So don't you think, brother, it is we find disturbance by our family member in the self-study?
Bro, could you repeat your question?
No, I'm saying that most of the time what happen when we do self-study. So in self-study, most of our family members disturb us. Like when we do self-study at home, so some of our family members say that, "Na, you are studying. Can you do that thing? Can you do that thing like that?" This they keep disturbing in our study. Don't you think that in self-study?
I think it's not a big deal because when you have understanding about parents or siblings, they will understand what you are doing, and they don't disturb you. This type of thing, and also they sometimes they will help you in when you are studying. But if talk about the school, you say in your talk, we are some peoples are cheating, some students are cheating with their parents. That is not happened in myself, or who are choosing the self study. So I talk about the self study. It's when we are in studying in our whom our parents always focusing on us. They always guide, they can guide they can guide their children, and they can maintain their discipline, and also they can strict, sometimes they can be strict on their children when need to be correction. But in the in the term of the schools, there is lots of teacher, and that's the reason any one teacher who guides us, not strictly can guide us because of his business or this type of thing, and also parents cannot touch us for time passing in in the outside of house like schools or some places with friends. But yeah, in the term of self study, this type of things are not that type of things will be not happened, and children can be fully concentration on their study by their govern of their parents, and I think it not be it's not very disturbed for the for any self who are doing self study in at home.
Okay, yeah, that's great. I'm agree with you. Yeah, brother. Yeah, so Sajid brother, do you have any? Do you want to say?
Yes, I have a lot of point about self study. Before I mentioned about the school studies advantages, and somehow I show the disadvantages. And right now I like to talking about the disadvantages about self study. First of all, lack of structure. Without a formal curriculum, it is isn't easy to understand the unknown things and unknown vocabulary, unknown what you want to try to learning about some topics somehow. Sometimes we need to see too if we are try to understand some topics which is we are not familiar, we face some difficulty. But sometimes when we are going YouTube, we cannot see the exit videos which help us. So I think this is the one reason, and another reason is limited feedback. There isn't no immediate feedback from instructions to correct mistakes or misconceptions. So this is the another things, and the third thing is motivation challenges. Like if we are going to school, teacher always talk in some motivational space, and somehow we show that our fans and also classmates and some strangers also give us motivation. But if you are stay in the home, if you are try to learning some by own way, so we couldn't get the motivation. If you are go to YouTube to search the search box motivational videos, we see YouTube videos motivational. Do you really think it is really help us to get become a success in their life? I don't think that, because motivation come face to face, like physically, not YouTube videos and not anywhere. If you are watching YouTube videos to getting motivation, I think it is isn't help you to improve your productivity. And next thing is resource overload. Sometimes we need to understand the exit point, but we couldn't get the exit point. So this is what I call a resource overload. And the next is isolated. Studying alone can lead to a lack of pure interactions, which can be valuable for collaborative learning and motivation. In this part, in this terms, I said that, like, if we are going to school, we meet some stranger and meet some friends and as well classmates. We are talking them our emotional part, our happiness part, everything. But if we are staying in the home, if we are trying to learning our book outside the book and unknown things, we cannot make a friend. We cannot talk in with anyone. We just one kind of isolated everyone. We just stay in the room and try to learning using the computer, using the YouTube videos. So I think this type of things isn't help to improve productivity. But I believe that those person who stay in the home, they will become a successful, I think. Because if I look at that Elon Musk and some person like Mark Zuckerberg and other person Bill Gates, they are a dropout in the graduation, but they still successful in their life. Somehow it's a really good self-study, but maximum time I think school is the good.
Yeah, that's great, brother. You spoke so wonderful point. Yeah, so Mr. Muhammad Fahim, brother, is your favorite self-study. So don't you think that in self-study, when we do self-study, so we don't get immediate feedback, because if we want to get knowledge, so teacher must be there also. So in self-study, there is no one to tell us, no one to correctify us. So how can we know in the self-study that am I doing wrong? Am I going in the right direction? Am I solving the right answer or not? Is it right answer or not? So how can we know in self-study, brother? But in a school, if we have a doubt, we can ask to the teacher, going to the teacher. Don't you think that?
Yes, bro. I'm favor of your statement that when we are doing wrong, we can in the time of self study we can't correction ourselves where we don't see our wrong. But in the time of yeah, we can correction ourselves by talking with our friends or describe with them, or we can get guide from the teacher. But in the self study, I think we can do more concentration on our or on our study rather than school, because of in schools group studies sometimes our some friends are very they are very wiki person. That's the reason we all of the groups are being so disturbed. There's a reason sometimes we can't focus on schools, or sometimes our school is very noisy area for that students doing noise. There's the reason we can't focus properly on our study. But in the self study there is no hustle and bustle in our room or in our houses or neighborhood area. That's the reason we don't need to we don't need to any silent place to concentrate, or there is no issue for concentration. In that when we do self study, we can get many direction from online platform like YouTube and many learning platform that we can learn many things. And in the on in the term of school, we get only just thing that is in our academic book and the and the serve knowledge of our teacher. But in the self study we can analyze a lot of info that has a great advantage for self study, that we can get many options for ourselves, that what is correct and what is what we can select. So this type of thing can be more effective on our life. In the term of correction, I think that school has a advantage for it, but in the self study we get many options that we can opt.
Yeah, that's great, brother. Yeah, so ultimately, if you talk about school life and self-studies, both are good. It's depend upon us, right? If you are good, if your mindset is clear, if you want to study, right? So it doesn't matter if you're going to school or self-study, right? We can get the knowledge. Not only the school, it is called that if you're ready, teacher will be immersed, right? If you're the ready, teacher will immerse. And that's why there are a lot of person who cannot go to school because of the lack of money, but they have the ignition, and because of that they got the success, they achieve a success, right? So we cannot say that only the school is the place from where we can get knowledge. There are a lot of things from the nature, from the story, from the movies. There are a lot of things from the situation, from the bad situation, good situation. There are a lot of things from there we can get the knowledge, we can get the lesson, right? Not only we should not depend only a school or book. Whatever in book, in a school we studies book. So in book we can say we studies a story, and that story is written by the some kind of writer, right? With their experience. So we can say their experience put into that book and we are getting that. So why not we can also get our own experience by seeing the nature, by watching the people, right? So if we are the ready, teacher will be immersed. Teacher could be anything, not only the, as a human. Teacher could be a nature, teacher could be a tree, teacher could be a movies, anything, right? So if you are ready, teacher will be immersed. Yeah, so Sajid brother, do you have any more point, brother? Do you want to say anything? Because we are running out of time, so
At the last of this conversation, I want to say that self-study and also school both are really good. I appreciate both. But if I talk about school provides some facilities which is we couldn't get in the self-study. First facilities is we can access laboratory and library, everything. But self-study we just stay in the room. So this is the last point. But if we are study themselves, we can easily access everything what we are, which helps us to understanding the new things and new ideas. So both are really good.
yeah, that's great. Okay, so actually we are running out of time, so we should wind up the session here. So ultimately, I would say both are important. It don't. It's not a self-study or a school life or a school study. Both are important. If we are ready to study, we can study anywhere, right? So yeah. So if you have any more fun, Muhammad Sahib Fahim, so you can.
No, at the last of the time, I don't have any statement, but I would like to say that both is very important for everyone. That it's depend on the user. How can we use our time?
Yeah, brother, you are right. It depends on the user. It depends on the learner how they use their time, how they want to study. Yeah, so I agree with both of you. Yeah, so it's a great session. And so thank you for joining here. See you tomorrow with a new topic. Till then, bye and have a nice day. Good night to all of you. Yeah,
Good night.
good night.